If you're an online business, you know the importance of creating consistent, regular, valuable content, whether it's on YouTube or a blog post or a podcast episode where you are showing up regularly to your audience and giving them value that's related to your niche. This is the backbone of any online business. But the question is, what should a piece of content look like? How should it be structured? How do you craft it? Is there a template or a system that you can use every time to make this process a little bit simpler? In this video, I'm gonna talk about just that. I'm gonna give you the template that I use, and you can take it and make it your own. This is video 20 of Crush It on Kajabi in 90 days. I'm doing 90 straight days of videos all about your online business and how to start it, build it, and grow it on the best all-in-one platform for online business, which is Kajabi. If you're interested in trying out Kajabi, use my link below, lanesebring.com/Kajabi. You get two pretty cool things. First of all, you get the free trial that Kajabi offers. Everybody gets that, and that's nice. But in addition to that, you get a 45-minute Zoom call with me. We'll go over your online business. We'll talk about Kajabi. We'll help get you set up on Kajabi, and we'll talk about any questions that you have about it. And then I'm also going to give you my $25,000 course launch email template, which are the exact emails and email strategy that I used to launch my first course, which made over $25,000 in the first 3 launches on Kajabi. Learned a ton in that process. I'm going to put that in your hands so that you're prepared to launch your first course on Kajabi. Those 2 perks plus the free trial are yours for using my link. So I really appreciate it because it is an affiliate link, so I do get a small commission. So if you appreciate what I'm doing on this channel and it's been of value to you, and you're gonna try out Kajabi anyway, then you might as well use my link to do it. All right, so let's talk about the perfect piece of content. Let me just say, first of all, there is no perfect piece of content, right? What we can get close to is to have at least a standard or a system or a template that gives us the opportunity, makes it easy to develop a perfect piece of content or an effective piece of content. Just to review one thing, we've been talking about content for the last 4 or 5 videos in this series because I wanted to spend some time talking about what I believe is the most important part of your online business. Without content, it's very difficult to attract an audience that knows you, likes you, and trusts you enough to be a lifetime customer, buying your courses, buying your membership sites, signing up for your coaching programs. So content is vital. What we talked about in the last video is that content has a purpose. It's not just to grow a large audience that knows you, likes you, and trusts you. That's good. It's also and primarily to get people onto your email list. And the way that happens is through a call to action, offering people your lead magnet, which they have to give their email address to get, and that gets them on your email list. So we talked about all this in the series leading up to now. All that to say this, whatever content template that we create has to work in a natural call to action for your lead magnet. So this template I'm gonna show you will do just that. All right, so let's dig into the perfect piece of content. It has 6 parts. The first part is the hook. You want to hook people right away. Essentially what you're doing in a hook is you're grabbing people's attention, you're piquing interest, and you're doing this by creating tension that your video is going to resolve. So a good hook gets right into the problem that the video is going to solve, the question that the video is going to answer, the rub that people have that the video is going to provide a solution to. That's what a good hook does. And you want to state your hook succinctly and clearly before you do anything else. Because when someone clicks on your video, or when someone goes to your blog post, or when someone starts listening to your podcast episode, if they don't hear or read or see right away something that they find interesting, something that they need the answer to, something that speaks to them and their pain, their issue, whatever they need from your content, if they don't see that right away, the chances of them sticking around are very low. So what I like to do is I like to begin with a simple problem, question, or situation. So I might say something like, have you ever wondered, or if you're in online business, you probably know this, or what do you do about X? So it's a question, it's tension, it's a problem. It doesn't have to be intense or extreme. It just has to pique interest. And in the hook, you want to point to a solution. You want to say something like, if you stick around, or in this video, we're gonna talk all about it. Just something like that that lets them know, hey, if you keep listening, this thing that you're interested in knowing the answer to, this video is gonna solve that problem. So number one is the hook. Number two is context. Simply put, this is just bringing people into your space. If the hook kind of caught people mid-sentence, context is where you let people know where they are. So if you're on YouTube, you might say something like, my name's Lane, this is my channel, we talk about online business and passive income, it's so awesome to have you. Something like that. Or in my case right now, I'm building a series of 90 videos all about Kajabi, which is why earlier in this video, after the hook, I mentioned the Crush It on Kajabi series. So just enough to let people know where they are and who you are. So at this point, we have hooked them and we provided a little bit of context. We're not far into the video. We might be 45 seconds in at this point. The next thing you want to do is your call to action. We talked about this last video, so if you want to know all about what this is and how to do it, go to part 19. But in short, what we're talking about here is just offering your lead magnet. You might say something like, hey, in this video, we're gonna talk about whatever. If you wanna go further with this topic, I wanna put something in your hands for free, go to my awesome website /free resource. And it just allows people, just before you get into the content, to go deeper with you and get on your email list. Doing it at this point in the video is advantageous for a very important reason. And that is, it's early enough in the video where you're gonna catch most people. I mean, if you only put it at the end, you're only gonna get the people who make it to the end. So by putting it at the beginning, the chances of getting just a few more people to see that lead magnet, maybe be intrigued by it, and go download it are a little bit higher. So that's why I like to put it about right there. So far, we've hooked people, we've given them context, where they are and who you are. We have given the call to action to our lead magnet. The fourth thing you're gonna do is value. This is where the body of your content is. So we've hooked people at the beginning and we've told them what the video is going to do. It's going to teach you this. It's going to solve this problem. It's going to answer this question. Part 4, for value, this is where you do that. I like to break things down into 2 or 3 or 4 points or bullets, or in this case, I'm doing 5 ways that you can create a piece of content. Sometimes numbered list, or sometimes just breaking things down makes it easier for you to teach it and makes it easier for people to follow along. I think there's a lot of power in 3 things. So in this case, I have 6 parts of a piece of content. So there's 6 pieces. So there's flexibility depending on the context and what you're doing, but somewhere between 3 and 6 points or facts or bullets is a really helpful way to do it. Or if you're answering a question and there's just one answer and you need to explain it, maybe you can give the answer and then explain it further. Keep in mind, the value section is why people clicked on your video. That's why they're listening to your episode. That's why they're reading your blog post. So this is where you want to put the most amount of time and energy so that people get what they came for. The only way that you can build know, like, and trust, where people know you, like you, and trust you, is if you deliver on what you promise. So if you hook them at the beginning with a clear and concise, here's the problem, and I'm gonna give you the solution in this video, this is where you give them the solution. So make sure you put some time and effort into this to make it worth people clicking on your video. Number 5, next steps. This is where I'm going to very quickly hit on a couple of different ways that they can go further with me. The easy one to do here on YouTube is ask them to subscribe. The second one is ask them to leave a comment and be specific about what you want the comment to be. And then third, I will mention my lead magnet one more time. They already have the whole spiel on it. I don't need to do that again. I might just say, be sure to click my link below, lanesebring.com/Kajabi, if you want to try out Kajabi, something like that. The reason why you want to keep this section brief is because as soon as people start to realize the video is over, they're already starting to click away. So you don't want to spend a lot of time on you could do this and you could do that. I mean, it really needs to be brief. 1, 2, maybe 3 things max that you can point people to, just enough to get those people who maybe haven't thought of subscribing, maybe they haven't thought of leaving a comment, and by simply mentioning those here, you might get people to take action who otherwise wouldn't. And then number 6, continuance. This is where I point people to another piece of content that I've made that will take them further in this same related area. So for example, at the end of this video, I'm gonna point to a playlist about Kajabi, and I'm gonna tell you to click on it. And I'm gonna say something like, hey, if you wanna go further, I'll see you in this playlist. It's almost like I'm inviting you to go with me into this playlist where we're going to discuss it further. You can do the same thing on a blog post by linking to another blog. In a podcast episode, you could say, hey, go check out episode 30 where we discussed XYZ. But what this does is it increases the chances of someone continuing to watch or read or listen to your content, which is a huge win. I talked about this in my last video, but especially here on YouTube, if you can continue getting someone to click on the next video and the next video and the next video, that increases not only your watch time, but your session time, which is really good for your channel and engagement, and you'll do better in the algorithm and all that stuff. It's all good indicators. And just about every platform is like that. You want to keep people on your content as much as you can. And if they go away, you only want them to click away to go to your lead magnet. So if they stay, that's awesome. If they click away to go to your lead magnet, that's even better. So those are the 6 elements of a perfect piece of content: hook, context, call to action, value, next steps, and continuance. That's the way I structure it. It's a simple way to do it, and it's effective. So give it a try for yourself and let me know in the comments below how it goes. Let me know any questions that you might have. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet, because if you don't, you might miss out on the rest of this series, which would be super sad. Be sure to check out Kajabi using my link below. And if you want to go further with Kajabi, you guessed it, you can join me in this playlist where I'll be, and if you're there, we'll be there together and we'll hang out. It'll be great. So click on this playlist right here, or you can wait for the next video in this series to pop up. We'll see you tomorrow.